Hello students, this video will go over how to create a pop art portrait using PhotoGrid. These portraits are inspired by Andy Warhol. So Andy Warhol was an influential artist in New York City in the 1970s and 80s. He operated a art collective known as the Factory near Union Square, and he is known as the founder of pop art. One of the reasons that he was considered the founder of pop art is because he was obsessed with popular culture, particularly celebrities and selfies. He took a number of self portraits in his lifetime. And part of what he is known for, he did coin the phrase 15 minutes of fame. So one of his quotes was that in the future, everybody in the world will be famous for 15 minutes. And he spent his life kind of honoring and creating and taking pictures of and making art about celebrities and the idea of like normal everyday people becoming famous through the process of art or music or the culture at large. One of his other popular celebrities he focused on was Marilyn Monroe. And one of the things that was particular about the style of his artwork is that he would do a lot of different multiple copies of any individual artwork. And he would make subtle variations in color and shade and those kind of things. This was part and parcel to the technology that he was using to create his artwork. We are going to be creating our artwork using PhotoGrid. So if you have not already, please download that app onto your computer or onto your cell phone. I have included a link in Google Classroom for Android and iPhone users to check out. So with that, let's get into PhotoGrid and talk about how we're going to make these self-portraits. So here we are on my cell phone in photography. I'm going to first open up PhotoGrid. And this is the grid that I was working on before, but I'll just go back to the very beginning. This is a free trial, so there will be some sort of watermarks and it will pop up an ad, but you do not need to pay for this program in order to use this, to do this assignment. So what I'm going to be using is grid mode, and I'm going to use a self-portrait. You can use a self-portrait, or you could also use any sort of photo of an object or image that represents you. It does not have to be you. Andy Warhol did a lot of flowers. He did a lot of other people. I'm going to use this silly goofy picture of me being goofy. When I click on that image, you'll see that it says 1 and it turns kind of teal. I want to tap that same picture 2, 3, 4 times so that I have 4 versions of my grid. Next, I'm going to click Next on my phone, and here is my design. It's going to save whatever you already had default, so let me just change the background to blank, and I'm going to change the border to kind of a standard border. You can change this as you go. But to begin, I'll just start with kind of a blank. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to apply a effect to all of these photos. To do that, I do need to click each individual one, and I'm going to make subtle changes to each individual picture so that they are a different color and style, creating kind of this repetition but also variation in the series. So I'll click this first one and go to down here. I'm scrolling until I see effects. So some of you may or may not have this cherish feature. If you don't, look through the filters, tap through the filters that you have. You're looking for something that kind of is like a very high contrast picture. Like this would work, but I like cherish because it kind of turns it into a more of a posterized look, which is more reminiscent of Andy Warhol's. And you can click this A/B to see kind of a before and after. And then I'm going to click OK. Next, I'm going to kind of repeat this process and kind of go through. So click the picture, swipe to effects, and then click cherish. I'm using cherish. If you don't have cherish, choose an effect that you like. It should still be one that has color. That's just will make it easier. And then I'll click this last one and hit effects and cherish. Now, some of his pictures had kind of some difference and variation. If I wanted to change one of these, I just tap on it and I can kind of slide it left to right. I can stretch one of them out so that it's like bigger. I can also, if I want to, down here at the bottom, I'll kind of swipe, and where it says mirror, I can kind of flip it so that one is a little different than the rest of them. Next, I'm going to start to edit the color. So let's take that one that I already enlarged and flipped, and I'll go down here again, swipe until I get to adjust, and I'll click adjust. And now you can make this brighter or darker. You can also turn it more contrasty or less contrasty, but I'm going to go here to hue so that I can rotate these colors and make this one kind of like purple and hit OK. And I'll repeat that process for each one of these. So I'll click, swipe, and go to adjust, hue, and play with different variations of color. Swipe again, adjust, hue, and pink. So now I have kind of like orange, green, pink, and purple. And I've got a pretty decent variety here. So I'm going to go back to play with my border and background. So I'm going to click border, and I'll play with this outside one first, which is the top. And I'll make it a little thicker. Could make it very thick, but I'll make it kind of a little thick. And I'll put a little border, a little space in between each one. And then I'll go back and hit this little checkbox, and I'll go to background. Now is when I can, if I want to, I can use a solid color that kind of matches my design. Andy Warhol's work was always very vibrant, so it's okay to go kind of crazy with the colors here. But you can also choose from a lot of different patterns that are kind of built in. It does have some paid versions. If it has a little crown, that means it's paid. So if you click that little plus, if you don't like any of these backgrounds, you can hit the little plus feature here. And again, some of these are paid, but then this one here, like the cloud, is free. Pink love is free. You know, this will be great for around Valentine's Day. Giving you kind of like some hearts. This is a nice one too. I kind of like that one. But let's see what else is free. Hello Spring. This would be great for the season. Scroll through. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to keep with my love background. The only other thing before I'm finished, I'm going to just show you how to get rid of this watermark here down at the bottom. So you do tap it on your phone, and then this will pop up, and this is where you could put your Instagram handle in there. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit PhotoGrid and just hit the off button, and it will disappear. So then this way, when I'm finished, I just click save, and it will download and save your work to your gallery. You can click this picture to kind of pull it up on your phone. You can, if you want to, also hit more, and you should be able to upload it directly to Google Classroom if you have your cell phone or you have your Google Classroom account hooked up to your cell phone. Otherwise, that is how you create an Andy Warhol photo grid, just to kind of give you an idea of some other examples. I did the same thing kind of with a flower in class. Other examples that I've worked on were kind of some more moody portraits, but the idea is changing the color, changing the layout a little bit to create some subtle different variations. I hope everybody is safe and well, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me and we can set up a time to meet. Thank you and have a great day.